first we need to... The fuck are you doing? Why the fuck did you just kill yourself? Hey guys, Pixelpilot here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a great build for Warlocks in Destiny. I'm going to be telling you what you're going to need, who this is designed for, what you're going to be doing with this build, and I'm also going to show you some gameplay before you waste any of your time trying to collect this loot that you're going to need for it. Alright, before we go into all the details and all the things you're going to need to collect, so, if you're going to be using this build, you need to know what kind of playstyle it's meant for. You're going to be using your abilities constantly. I mean, like, whenever I started this build up, I was barely even using my weapons at all. I just kept spamming grenade, using my melee and my super. So if you're going to be using this build, it's really going to benefit you. It's going to be mainly for like crowd control and PvE. You're going to be constantly taking out ads for your team, being support. This is meant for ability spamming and a little bit of weapon gameplay every now and then. So if you like doing that, then I'll tell you how to make the build and you can get right into that. Okay, before we even go over the type of gear that you're going to need, we're first going to go build the basics to the subclass. Now we're going to be using the Voidwalker subclass for this build. There's some things that you do need to apply and some things that you don't need to apply, and I'll be going over it as we go along. This is one of the most important things right here, is the grenade, because you're going to be spamming the shit out of this thing constantly. Now, you're going to have to use the scatter grenade. You can't use the other two grenades, sadly, because it interrupts with a type of gear piece that you're going to be using for this. So you're going to have to use the scatter grenade for this build to be as powerful as you want it to be. Now when it comes to glide, I don't give a fuck. Completely honest with you. Doesn't matter whichever one you choose, up to your playstyle. I use that one because I like it as my playstyle. Same thing as the Nova Bomb. I use Lance. I just like Lance more than the other choices. You can choose with that. Now when it comes to the melee, I recommend Lifesteal. You don't have to use Lifesteal. You can use Surge, or you can use Soul Rip. But I highly recommend Lifesteal if you want to, get some health back every now and again whenever you use it. And I'll go into details on how to use the build later on. That's the reason why I'm recommending this now, is because of details I'm going to say later on in the video. So, I recommend Lifesteal. Don't have to use it. Completely up to you. Just a recommendation. With these, the attributes, completely up to you. Your playstyle. Alright? Completely up to you. Now, you have to use Hunger for this. Energy Drain is going to be popping up on your screen constantly if you are getting shit ton of grenade kills or Nova Bomb kills or melee kills or melee hits. So you're going to want the Hunger on because it increases the energy drain effect, making it to where you can get grenades back faster, to where you can throw them out more. It helps out the build a lot if you use the Hunger, and this you have to fucking have. None of these things will fucking work unless you have Embraced the Void. Killing enemies with the Nova Bomb or any grenade triggers energy drain and restores your health. You're going to need that if you want your grenade spamming to do anything with the energy drain. So, now that we're done with the subclass, we're going to be moving on to the gear that is required for this. Really, it's only one piece of gear that's mandatory, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess it, but is the Nothing Manacles. You have to have this for this build for it to be effective in combat. And main reason why we're using these is so we can get an extra scatter grenade charge. The scatter grenade tracking is also helpful, but really it's for the extra charge that we're going to get from these. Now I'll talk the reason why we're going to need these in just a second. So let's just move over and go to stats. Stats must have tier 5 discipline. I'll go into the reason why in a second, but you're going to need at least tier 5 discipline when it comes to intellect and strength. Completely up to you, your playstyle. I'm letting you guys have the choice of that. Now, when it comes to guns, it does not matter. But I would recommend Bad Juju because it does give you extra super, and that will be helpful for this build. But, you know, I don't use Bad Juju because I don't like it. I just can't play with it. It's not fun for me. I moved over to the Supercell because that's fun to use. But it does not matter which weapons you use for this build. So you can keep the same weapons you have right now if you want. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to talk into detail of what everything does. Okay, if you followed all my instructions, your build is complete. You have everything down if you set up the subclass correctly, or to the way of your liking, but keeping my recommendations on, then your build should be completed. Now, I'm just going to be talking about a couple of things you need to be keeping in the back of your mind while you're using this build. First thing you need to be thinking about is, are you using your grenades? You want to be constantly throwing those grenades out there. You want to get rid of them because you're just going to get them back with the energy drain effect anyway. You do not want to save your grenades, well, unless there's no enemies around. But save your grenades if there's no enemies around. But if you run into enemies, you are going to want to constantly throw them, get rid of them, take out those adds as fast as possible, because the scatter grenade can wipe out any add as long as you use them effectively. The next thing that you need to think about is, let's say you run out of grenades. You have no grenade energy left. You have to wait 25 seconds to get your fucking grenade back? That's bullshit right there. So that is when your melee surge comes in handy. So if you have a surge ready, go up, hit an enemy, and get your energy drain effect going. And once you got that going, you can get your grenades back, and then you can start throwing those out there constantly. You want to keep the cycle going. If you stop the cycle, it ruins the build, and it makes the build not as effective. So that cycle is what you want to keep going constantly. You want to keep seeing energy drain effect popping up. Let's say you don't have a surge, but you have a super. Throw off your super and get your energy drain going. So, just try to keep those in mind while you're using this build, and it should work out in your favor. If you actually use it, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm very fucking monotoned because I am filming this at 4:17 a.m. in the fucking morning, and I'm tired as shit, but I had to get this done. So anyway, completely off topic. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. And I hope it works out in your favor. And, you know, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. Anyway, see you guys.